The Sulukule Orchestra is playing at a student bar in downtown Istanbul. Exuberant music with spirited rhythms and lively fiddles and clarinets. Many Turks enjoy the exuberant Romani music. A few years ago, these musicians played in the shade of the old Byzantine walls, but now the neighborhood that has long been the center of Roma life in Turkey is being torn down bit by bit. The owners receive a small compensation and are moved to a new settlement outside the city limits. That's because the crooked old wooden buildings have become unattractive and unsafe, says the Istanbul city government. The bulldozers often arrive shortly after dawn. This small tea room is the only remaining place for the quarter's musicians to meet. Sulukule's centuries-old entertainment tradition is rapidly becoming only a memory.
Most of our buildings just had a small cafe room used for music, dancing, and drinking, just big enough for 10 or 15 people. But that's what made it special, and tourists loved it. It was simple, but cheerful.
They say we don't belong here anymore. Rich people will live here in the future. We musicians have lost a place to play music, and we're being moved to a district outside the city. From there, just taking the bus back and forth costs €5.
Erdogan Dalkiran is on his way through the neighborhood to the place where his small bar used to stand. The city tore down many of the old bars in the early 90s, citing illegal prostitution. The police swept through Sulukule back then. Where his bar used to be is now just a pile of rubble. Dalkiran says the change also has something to do with the stricter religious climate in Turkey in recent years.
They're against entertainment. If they had their way, soon Turkey would ban all entertainment and alcohol. But Turkey is supposed to be a secular state. Can a secular society just allow something like this to happen?
The demolition is part of a massive urban renewal project called Museum City. The city says it will build a modern residential district where Sulukule now stands, but recreate some of the old historical flair, a sort of Turkish Disneyland. The Roma were living here long before the city became capital of the Ottoman Empire over 550 years ago. The children of Sulukule hold a protest march. The Roma are still fighting to save the district. They've now been joined by artists and activists from abroad. A troupe of French acrobats has taught the children some of their stunts. The city government says the plans to demolish the district are not intended to discriminate against the Roma. But the Roma are still often portrayed as bad Muslims and thieves in Turkish media and books.
This campaign in Sulukule is doing something to change prejudice among Turks and create a more positive image. We're starting to see more Roma music on television. Some of the musicians have even become major stars. Unfortunately, that's not enough to save Sulukule from demolition.
Whatever happens, say the Roma of Istanbul, even if the old district inside the Byzantine walls is demolished, their music will still survive.